Hey guys, it's Laura, and as of today, I have completed 6 weeks of my modified 75 hard challenge. So I just feel compelled to note that I just actually filmed this entire video, and then the lighting was so bad that I was like, I can't post that, I need to refilm this. So if I'm a little bit short with my answers, that's why. So I'm 6 weeks through 75 hard. I'm on day 43 today, and I'm actually halfway done the challenge, which feels absolutely wild to think about. I cannot believe that I have been able to commit to this challenge for 6 weeks. Also, if you could tell, I'm really trying to lean into my spring color analysis palette. I'm wearing all bright colors. Despite being very successful on 75 hard this week, financially, I had a really bad week. I spent too much money this week shopping for shirts in my color palette. Because as I said in my last video, I had previously owned no shirts in my color palette. So before I get into how 75 hard is going, I'll just recap what the challenge is, as I usually do. So 75 hard is a program created by Andy Frisella. Participants have to complete 5 tasks every day for 75 days straight. If they miss any of the tasks on any day for any reason, they have to restart the 75 days. These tasks are drinking a gallon of water, taking a progress photo, sticking to a diet with no cheat meals and no alcohol, doing 2 45-minute workouts every day, one of which must be outside, and reading 10 pages of a nonfiction self-help book. Unlike the last couple of weeks, I ran into so many setbacks this week. There were so many days when I was exhausted. I couldn't wake up in time to do a morning workout. I was saving both of my workouts for after work. I was miserable. I wanted to quit the challenge, but I did power through it, and here I stand today, one more week into the challenge. In terms of the progress photos, I'm still very notably noticing changes in my body, and it's actually very wild to compare the photos, for example, from this week with the photos that I took at the beginning of the challenge. And I'm almost certain that when I complete this challenge, I'm going to be posting my progress photos in that video. I was a little bit hesitant about posting my progress photos at the beginning of this challenge, but I do think that there is so much physical change that is so obvious on my body that I need to show some sort of result at the end of this challenge. In terms of the water rule, I'm still drinking 90 ounces of water a day. Something that I will say is that last week I noted that I felt like I was starting to see changes in my skin, like I felt like my acne was clearing up, and I can report that that change has continued this week. I still do feel like my skin is looking so much better than it was a couple of weeks ago. I'm a person who has struggled with acne for her entire life. Like, I started getting really bad acne when I was in grade 5 or 6, and it kind of like persisted. And I still think of myself as having much worse skin than all of my other friends. And I really feel like I've done the gamut of different acne treatments. I've tried so many different products on my face. I've gone to dermatologists. I've gone to do facial treatments, and nothing really worked. And if drinking more water really was the solution this entire time, I'm gonna feel very stupid. In terms of my exercises this week, I did a mix of exercises. I alternated between doing yoga, running, and walking. In terms of my diet, I talked a little bit last week about how I was trying out intermittent fasting, and I can say that after doing intermittent fasting for a few days, I kind of fell off of it. I think that intermittent fasting is just not a sustainable way to eat for me. I consistently have found throughout my life when I've tried to intermittent fast that if I'm strictly eating within an 8-hour window, I just can't get in the amount of food that is necessary for me to function. Like, unless I'm forcing myself to eat past the point of fullness during the 8-hour eating window, it's just, I'm not eating enough. So what I've been trying to do instead is mainly trying to eat within an 8-hour window. But then if I'm starving in the middle of the night and I know that I'm in a pretty significant calorie deficit, I'm not going to deny myself having a snack. So yeah, intermittent fasting didn't really work out for me. Luckily, I didn't actually officially change my diet plan. My diet plan for 75 hard is really just eating in a calorie deficit, so I'm still doing that successfully. In terms of the reading rule, I'm still reading Body Neutral by Jessie Neeland. I have about 80 pages left of this book, so the next time I make a video, I'm probably going to be finished with it and on to my next book. This book's really good. As I said in my last vlog, I'm flying through it. I've actually recommended this book to a few friends already. I find that this book has given me a lot of insight into the way that I think about my own body and why I may have the body image struggles that I do. Something that I found really interesting about this book, and something that I think a lot of people will find interesting about this book, is that the author, Jessie Neeland, talks about 4 body image avatars. And each avatar represents a reason that a person might be struggling with body image issues. So for example, there's one body image avatar called the self-objectifier, and it's a person who struggles with body image issues for some reason connected to external validation, where they want something from other people. For example, they want a romantic partner, and they think that in changing their body, they can obtain a romantic partner. Contrast this with the other body image avatar, the outsider, and the outsider is a person that struggles with body image issues because they think that achieving a certain type of body will allow them to fit in or avoid humiliation. I think it's interesting to have these avatars kind of spelled out because readers can resonate with one or more of them and develop an insight into why they struggle with the body image issues that they struggle with. Something else that I've been thinking about this week is what my life is going to look like when this challenge is over, because obviously I'm midway through the challenge now, the end is in sight. I'm kind of like, am I going to be able to sustain these habits when the challenge is over? I am a person who does challenges like this all the time. I really thrive on the structure and rules of challenges like this. This is not the first challenge that I've done. In the past, I've done NaNoWriMo, which is a challenge where writers write 50,000 words of a novel in a month. I've done Inktober, which is a challenge where artists draw something every day for 31 days. I've also done challenges like social media detoxes. I did a challenge where I didn't wear makeup for a month. So I really do like challenges. I do well at them usually. But what I have noticed is that once the duration of the challenge is over, the habits that I've been doing kind of fall off. And I do think that this is like natural and just a part of life, because when you're completing a challenge like this, it's just not sustainable in the long term. And you know, when you're completing a challenge, you're really just focused on getting that challenge done to the detriment of other aspects of your life. So with 75 hard, I've been holding myself back in other areas of my life. For example, I don't see friends as often. I don't have time to see friends as often. It's not been a priority. There's been times when I've canceled plans with friends or neglected to make plans with friends because I need to do an exercise, for example. And once 75 hard is over, I will be able to prioritize my friends and family again. But at the same time, the habits that I'm cultivating with 75 hard are very important to me. I think that they're good habits to have. And I'm really liking the progress that I'm seeing, both physically and mentally. So I really do hope that I'm able to keep up these habits when I'm done this challenge. And who knows, I mean, the creator of 75 hard does promise lasting change if you can stick to the challenge for 75 days. So maybe I will be able to keep these habits going in my everyday life. But yeah, this is just something that I've been thinking about as I see the end of the challenge getting closer and closer. Anyway, that's the update for today. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I will catch you next week after I complete week 7. Bye!